My name is Detective Black. I'm a private investigator. I'm good at what I do. Some think I get too consumed in my work. They like to joke. Do you even sleep? Crime doesn't sleep, and neither do I. I joke back, but it's not a joke. I don't sleep, and it's not that I don't want to, but I can't. They come to me night and day, the dead, the murdered, the missing. They're restless, and they need help. And I'm the only one who can help them.
Before we let you go, folks, we want to take a moment of silence for our fellow all males of diverse races who mysteriously vanished.
Is there an aching pulse that ripples throughout your head occasionally? So unbearable that you grow exhausted from the dull pain? Then suddenly, bam! Nothing but darkness because you've blacked out. And you wake up.
Based on true stories, these crimes are real.
It has successfully taken over your cognitive and is now using you to do their bidding. If you are suffering from this and want to be cured,
if you or a loved one are or have been taking these prescription drugs that have been recalled, you might be eligible. Babe, you are always watching something crazy.
Well, you know me.
All we're
I have a
asking for
gift
is
for
a small
locating
donation
craziness. Hey, hun, you almost finished.
Yes, babe, I just finished shaving and showering. Give me 5 and I'm out.
Okay, we'll see. I'm setting a timer. Not quite 5 minutes, but very... Oh, my lord. Wow, I mean, you look stunning. Did I already say wow?
She smiled a freckled, cheeky smile, letting out a giggle as she shrugged her shoulders and covered her narrow-featured face with both hands.
Don't be shy, babe. Get your fine self over here.
He leaned halfway out of bed, wrapped his arms around her waist, and gently tugged as she shrieked and collapsed on top of him, laughing. They tossed and rolled a few times as their bodies rubbed and their hands explored each other, finally pausing. They stared at one another briefly as their heartbeats pounded, their breathing heavier, and their skin reddened with excitement.
Damn, it's only 3?
The man woke up to the pitch blackness of the room, where the only light was the moon shining through the blinds, landing in the far corner. On the right side of the corner, sitting against the wall, was his lover, banging the back of her head against it.
Hello, babe?
She had dark bags around them. Her lips were super dry and chapped, and her skin was paler than usual and drenched with sweat.
Why did you make me do that? Why? Why did you make me do that?
Was I snoring too loud or something?
I'm a slut. I'm a whore, a harlot. Why did you make me do that?
She stopped rocking. She stared straight ahead. Her green eyes rolled back forward. Her hand shot up and grabbed his wrist. Her nails dug into his flesh as he yelled in pain. He struggled to get free, but she would not release his arm. Instead of approaching him, he watched her bend backward, cracking her spine in multiple places. Now that she was arched with her stomach upward, resting on her bent-back hands and feet. She quickly hurried out of the room with only the sound of her nails scraping against the wood floor. Chris reached into his pocket, grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and saw nails drilled into the doorframe. He began to yank and pull on the door, panicking, and with each attempt, he pulled harder and harder, but the door wouldn't budge. Kelsey silently crawled into the living room from the ceiling like a spider. She crawled over to Chris and quietly dropped down, standing straight up. Chris stopped tugging on the door handle. The hair on his neck stood straight up as he heard and felt the irregular breathing coming from behind him. His eyes were like saucers as he trembled in fear. Then there were dripping sounds coming from the floor. He was urinating as his jeans became darker and eventually soaked as some of it dripped down his leg. Suddenly, he collapsed as his phone was tossed into the air and its beaming light swirled around the dark. You could see Kelsey walking away from the front door, dragging Chris by the ankle as he kicked and screamed. Finally, despite the kicking and flopping, she brought him toward a door she opened that led down into darkness. They both disappeared into it as the door slammed closed on Chris's echoing screaming.